Today on We Need to Talk, it's part 2 of our live event at Curlies Comedy Club, which shit happens when you party naked. If you didn't see part 1, check it out. It's on our Facebook page. The full video is there. Or just listen to part 1 of the podcast, whichever you prefer. And we're talking about nicknames. And Steve's going to ask me a question here in just 1 second. Hold on.
So you used to have a cat.
Yes.
And that was Buttons.
Yep, Buttons.
Not Buttons, Buttons.
Buttons.
Buttons. I only say that word that way now, just so you know. Mm-hmm. I've stolen that word from you.
Hey, I feel very prized.
Buttons.
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 And a dog.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Was Buttons short for something? What? You don't like Buttons?
No.
That's like a cat name.
Buttons is normal, but Buttons, like, I feel like I'm faking a British accent, like Buttons.
See, I'm not sure what the difference is here.
Cheerio.
Sounds the same to me.
Buttons.
Was that short for something?
How do you say crayons?
So
Offensive what?
Crayons.
Crayons.
crayons?
What? Say it one more time. Give me
Crayons.
Okay, so he slurs them a little bit. He runs them together. Crayons. I like crayons, though. I like how you say it, crayons.
But you don't
Crayons.
like Buttons.
No, I don't like buttons at all.
Fair enough.
Batons.
So Buttons isn't short for anything.
So Buttons wasn't short for anything. It's actually the
Crayons, I
name
like.
that the cat got at the shelter. And, you know, we were too lazy to change it, so we didn't.
That's fair. Well, so, and then you had a dog.
Yeah, Cody. And
Wait, Cody?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I met Cody.
He died before your time.
Before my time.
Before our friendship began.
Yes, I outlived it.
But I also had a dog named Rocco, and that was the name assigned by my brother, who kind of, you know, abandoned the dog, essentially.
Oh, boy. He's on blast now.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jason. Oh, no, sorry, not you, Jason, but the other Jason.
Different Jason.
The Jason through the internet.
Lame Jason.
Internet
Hey,
Jason.
Internet Jason. Lame Jason. Jason number 2. What's his nickname?
Pepins.
Wait, hold on. You got a nickname twin, and it's your brother.
No.
That's the problem with having your last name as a nickname.
No. It's not Pepin.
So it's Pipinz. Mine is Pipin.
You mean Zed.
Well, Zed.
You
yeah.
should call him Pepinus. That should be his nickname. Pepinus.
Pepinus. Well, then what are we going to
It's
call
like-
his dog?
Floppy nuts? I don't know. Call his dog whatever.
So Rocco,
Timothy.
was that short for anything?
No.
Jonathan.
No.
Was he named after the one with the modern life?
Probably. Was that a dog in that?
Oh, I think it was a wallaby.
Wallaby, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I mean, you gotta have those unique animals.
All right, Steve, how about you? Any pet names that you were
I mean,
found?
we've had a ton of pets. We had Pumpkin. I'm gonna look at my mom to verify these. That was one, right? Yep. That was a cat. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll look at Sasha because she is ready to call these out.
Was Pumpkin orange?
Blueberry, and then we had Berry, which was a different animal.
Another Buttons, huh?
Wait, we had a Buttons? Tucker? What? That was your private name. Your private name for the cat was Tucker. What was the real name?
I have no idea.
It's the only name I needed was Tucker. I don't know what their real name was. You named a cat Nutter Street? Oh. That makes a lot more sense. I remember thinking back, that makes a lot more sense that we lived on Nutter Street than a dog named Buddha.
Ooh, that sounds all the way good for a pet name. It should be like sacrilege, but it's not. It's
Buddha.
It's kind of cool.
No, I think that's fine. I think sacrilegious pet name is completely acceptable.
You know?
In my opinion.
I'm not surprised. So Barry was named after the
I
Resident
think I
Evil
just heard a
character.
racial slur from that table over there. Actually, I'm triggered.
Highly
Not
doubtful.
appropriate at all.
Highly doubtful. Barry was named after the Resident Evil character, Barry. And he was an outdoor cat. That guy fought. Oh, man. He would run. He ran
Slang
that neighborhood.
Dick, huh?
Yeah.
Cat slang dick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The other cats called him Floppy Nuts.
Was that hurtful for him, or was that okay?
No, he liked that
Was he
one.
all right? He liked that one. I like that one too. So how do you come up with a nickname? I mean, like, do you have
That's a
a
good
formula? Do you like what? I mean, after so many years of nicknaming things and seeing what sticks and what doesn't, we've discussed these topics. But how do you decide? Like, what am I gonna give? You saw me nickname Pepin. I said I think you should call him Pepinus because Pepin is like you're like halfway there. All you need to do is add an is, and also he has a penis, and also
Allegedly.
calling someone a penis No, I've seen it.
Okay.
Calling someone a penis. You know, it's nice. It's about this big. It's about that big. So I mean, you're doing pretty good, bro.
Do you measure everything tooth to tonsil?
Well, you know, it just depends on how far back it goes. You know what I mean?
You're like, that's one Pepin dick.
Yeah.
It's your standard
We
unit
actually,
measure.
speaking
one
of college
Pepin
nicknames,
is, sorry.
this is actually true. I'm not making this up. This is the first thing that I've actually said tonight that's true. We had a roommate, and his name was Brian, and of course we made a joke about his penis being small, and so when we were talking about something that was rather small in inches or even centimeters, we would describe it in BCLs, and that was a Brian cock length.
Yeah.
So a BCL was a unit of measurement for a really small thing. So there was just to fuck with them. Like, you know, when you're describing, it's a BCL. It's 2 BCLs. It's pretty small. It's about this big. But we all knew it was a Brian. People would come over and they'd be like, "What's a BCL?" We'd be like, "Oh, don't worry about it."
So this
But
guy
he
can
knew it was a
adopt
Brian
that,
cock
but we
length.
can't switch to the metric system.
Yeah, I mean, the Brian cock length was the metric system I feel is like more well defined. A Brian cock length was just, you know, it was amorphous. I mean, it could be an inch one day, it could be a couple of centimeters the next day. It was like very quantum, like it was not
Sliding scale.
Yeah, like good luck measuring what a real Brian cock length is. You'd have to get his pants down. That was where the measurement kind of came from. But
His pants being down, or you mean just from the
from
joke?
observing his penis. Yeah, you'd have to like directly observe his penis in order to measure a Brian cock length for real.
Is it like a quantum mechanics thing?
Yeah, it sort of is. It's like
Schrodinger's penis? Yeah.
Schrodinger's box, but he wasn't a lady, so he couldn't call it Schrodinger's box.
Fair enough.
I think for a nickname, you have to make it memorable. It has to be something memorable.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Okay.
Let's say that you're at work and someone comes in and he forgot his shoes. You know, that's something really stupid to forget. How can you forget your shoes? If you do that, then, you know, your nickname has to be like shoes because, you know,
Or socks.
Adidas or something like that.
Is that where socks came from?
So socks was just because I tackled people with soccer.
Oh, like you physically like tackled them.
Yeah.
I remember playing. We'd play football at my
makes no
house.
sense.
Wait, what?
His name is Socks, but it's soccer.
You
and
know
not
what?
Like the
He's
garment?
right. That doesn't
Like
make,
it should
how does
be.
that make any
your
sense?
nickname should be Socks when you come to school with like your socks pulled up and you're wearing shorts and you look like one of those weird German kids and you got your socks pulled up and you got the weird hat on. Then they call you Socks because you're wearing weird fucking socks, not because it has to do with poverty ball.
No. So it was socks because sock, right?
Yeah.
I got my socks all dirty from tackling people and also sock people on the soccer field. It's like 3 things right there. It all comes together.
let's pretend that makes sense.
If I were all of you people, I would be demanding my money back right now. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. I would be demanding my money back. I want a refund because that nickname is bullshit.
So Pepin's
bullshit
formula,
podcast.
it has to be memorable.
So either it has to be super memorable or it has to be so non-memorable that it becomes memorable. Like, let's say someone comes in and they're wearing like this little tiny pin on their shirt. You know, who cares? You have to make a big deal about that. Like way bigger deal than you ever would, and you bring up every day just to drive this person crazy. So it's one or the other.
So what would you nickname Jason if you had to think like a real good thought came into your head and it was a nickname?
Don't fuck this up, buddy.
For
Okay.
Jason, what would that be? I'm trying to buy you a little bit of thought.
Okay, it's gonna be. Hold on, let me just stare you down here. All right, whisk your hair a little bit.
I
Just
have a dumb fucking ponytail. I look like an
There's
80s
so
drug
much
dealer.
material here.
I'm
Come
giving you
on.
so much to work with. I look like a gay porn star.
Okay.
What do you want? Schindler's Fist?
No.
I could be Schindler's Fist.
Okay, how about this?
I'm German. I could be Schindler's Fist.
Cock
my porn
Blaster 3000.
Cock Blaster 3000. Okay.
Cock Blaster 3000.
Take it.
Hey guys, welcome to Shit Happens When You Party Naked. I'm Cock Blaster 3000.
I'm your host, Cock Blaster 3000.
You have to introduce yourself as that next week.
We're going to do that. It'll be our callback to
Cock
this week.
Blaster 3000.
Yeah.
Cock
Did
Blaster
that just come into your
3000.
head?
Well, you know, I've been thinking about blasting cock a lot, you know, with Jason on the stage here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, gotta go for something like nutty, but he's been talking about nuts too much tonight, so I have to do something different.
I feel like I put that out there. I might have like pushed that on you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we're about there, are we? We got more time?
How much time we have?
We have till 8:30.
8:30. So we have 20 minutes here.
Outstanding. All right, so cock blast. Wait, was it 3,000?
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000.
3,000.
See, it's already fallen away. It's not memorable.
Yeah,
enough.
it's not memorable enough. That one didn't stick.
What about the
Penis.
cock blaster?
The cock blaster.
Something about the articles always sticks for me.
I don't know about the article. I don't know how I feel about that.
So in hockey, I play hockey online. In that, they call me the Tone.
You look like the kind of guy who would play sports online.
Yeah, I do.
I'm
I play
sorry.
football. I play hockey.
Yeah. You look like the kind of guy who'd be like wicked into esports because it doesn't involve any actual physical labor. It's like, I like the idea of playing sports and being on a team or something like that and getting my ass slapped in the locker room. I like all the idea of that. But like the whole like, I'm going to be sore. Somebody's going to push me. I'm going to have to run up and down a field. I don't really want to do any of that.
Listen, if I have to run up and down the field, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
No question. Out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meter is someone who gets super, super into esports. He's talking about his strategies and how he gets clans together, and it's something I admire from him, actually, because some people think that's a little bit, I don't know,
Isn't
nerdish.
esports
No,
like
it's super nerdy.
Isn't that like Super Smash Brother tournaments and shit? It's not like
No,
real
that's
sports.
not. That's no. Like, well, I mean, to a degree, that'd be more like.
I saw
don't know,
Super
professional
Smash
video
Brothers on
games,
like
but-
ESPN or some shit one night at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the
That's
Ocho.
Fucking weird.
I watched
That's
the Tetris.
weird to me.
The Ocho's a real channel now, by the way.
Yeah,
which is wild to me.
Hey guys, Meter here. Do you ever find yourself wishing that you could make some extra cash with your NFL knowledge? Well, at MyBookie, they want to make your dream come true this season. Right now, all players are invited to play in the free $50,000 Survivor contest. Winner takes all. The contest started on the 8th, and it's going to close here today, October 14th, before the start of Monday Night Football. You pick one team each week, you survive the longest, and you take home $50,000 in cash. Make a successful deposit with MyBookie, and you'll receive a free entry into the contest today. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really sure as far as gambling goes, but let me tell you something. MyBookie's the real deal. If you're going to bet this season, do the smart thing. Go to mybookie.ag, because no one gives you more ways to win. And if you guys use our promo code NEED to TALK, all one word, to activate your offer, the promo code NEED to TALK is going to double your cash. So whatever you deposit, they're going to double it. And think about it, I'm a big New England Patriots fan. Pretty much a guarantee that they're going to win just about every week, especially these first weeks of the season. Think about putting down money when they were going against some of those teams, when they were going against the Dolphins. You knew they were going to win. You deposit a little bit of money, they double your money, you put it on the Patriots to win, guaranteed victory. Listen, I'm telling you right now, go bet on the Patriots. This is Meter personally saying that's a sure bet. Bet on the Patriots, double your money with the code NEED to TALK, and you're guaranteed a victory. Get that big payout. Buy yourself a good SpongeBob onesie that you've been eyeing for 6 months. You know you deserve it. Come on. mybookie.ag.
But you get super into like these games, and you kind of get these teams going, and it's something that amazes me because I could never see it. Also, you do like announcing for like a fantasy football league or Madden NFL online.
Oh yeah, I do for the TPCFL,
Oh, yeah, you do.
TPCfootball.com. Head on over, check it out. But on there, my nickname is the voice of the TPCFL.
The voice of the TPCFL. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice one.
I can get behind that. That's pretty
That's a
fucking
nice
cool.
one.
Do you want to open this up? You want to open this up to the crowd? Ask them
Sure.
what their nickname was.
Sure.
All right, let's just start down. I know your nickname already. What is it? Rizzo. And what's
Rizzo.
your last name associated with? How do you get it?
It's my last name.
Last name. So 3 of us, we're all super boring.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
Well, yeah. No, I speak for literally everybody but you.
This guy looks like a stinky nuts. I'm just going to say right away, I don't mean to insult you. I actually mean that as a compliment, sir. I know you probably don't get that a lot, that stinky nuts is a compliment, but coming from me, I assure you, I
He
mean that
will
as a
be in the
compliment.
parking lot after the show.
You can kick the shit out of me after, but you look like a stinky nuts. I'm sorry. Maybe a floppy nuts instead of a stinky nuts. Switch stinky out for floppy, but you look like a nuts kind of guy, and I'm thinking floppy nuts. You look like, you know, you've been around the block. You know, you're not a young guy.
Jesus Christ, Jason.
You've got a copious scrotum. You just smelly nut. There you go.
No, are you fucking kidding me?
He's not fucking
Are you
joking.
fucking kidding me right
I'm
now?
fucking
Did
Nostradamus.
you fucking guess his nickname? You have never met this man before.
I saw it in his fucking eyes. I could stare into his soul. I knew he was a fucking stinky nut.
Did you just guess Stinky Nuts as somebody's nickname out of the crowd randomly?
I am the king.
Oh my God.
Actually, one of my nicknames that I've claimed that hasn't quite stuck, but I've been pushing it for like the last decade, is King Shit of Fuck Mountain. And I feel like right now, I just fucking called that.
Listen, I'm a support
I've never seen
that
this
after
man
that.
in my life.
That was absolutely wild.
Boom. I hope the internet was watching as I just fucking, I
can't
pulled that
believe
one
that
out of
just
the
happened.
fucking air.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Yes.
next one. Pussy Master 3000.
Why is it always 3,000? Are you scared?
Actually, she's the Cockmaster 3000.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that, maybe. I don't know.
This is Jason's wife, by the way, what we're talking about.
She goes by Chrissy a lot. Family call you Chrissy. Yeah.
No, that's a nice nickname.
I have a nickname for her. I actually have a couple for you.
Oh, God.
I hope you don't mind. My co-host, everybody.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Sammy L. I also call her Sugar Tits sometimes.
That's what I was just
Yeah, Sugar Tits. I call her Toots. She gets Toots and Sugar Tits. Sorry, ladies. It's very like toxic masculinity household in the Almy household. You're getting Sugar Tits or Toots when you walk in the door. Everyone's ass is getting pinched, even the guys. I also call her Pissy Chrissy because I like when nicknames rhyme, and it sometimes describes her attitude quite well. So she gets Pissy Chrissy sometimes. And actually, in keeping with that theme, because our daughter, when she cries or when she seems cranky, I call her Peevy Evie. Because I like nicknames that rhyme, and it describes her attitude as well. So Pissy Chrissy is a good one. No one call her that after this, guys, please. No one call her that. She'd rather you call her Sugar Tits than Pissy Chrissy.
I think
afterward.
rhyming is another thing that like helps it be memorable, helps a nickname stick, right?
Helps it stick if
A
it
nickname
rhymes.
that rhymes, it's like solidified. It's done.
All right, who has a nickname over here that wants to share? Anybody brave
Any
enough?
ladies at this middle table, tell us nicknames.
Go on.
We got a T-Swizzle fan here. I want to...
I get called mom. How about
Mom.
That's true.
So Sandy's nickname is Sandy Vagina? Is that what you just said? That's a perfect nickname.
boy.
You would never forget that. That's the perfect nickname. Because where do you get sand? Every time. I don't even have a vagina, but I get sand in my vagina sometimes. My blood sugar gets low. I'm cranky. I'm pissy. I'm hangry. Where do I have the sand? In my vagina, obviously. Okay, Facebook just heard. Everybody. Sandy Vagina. Sandy Vagina right there at that table. I love it. Vagina.
Vaginas.
Okay. Sandy Vaginas.
Because she's classy, they say.
For formal occasions,
That's absolutely
Sandy
amazing.
Vaginas for formal occasions, okay? Only in
Are you
black
sipping
tie.
tea or twirling your mustache?
No,
A
I'm
cigar?
actually, I'm actually smacking my face with a BCL. I'm rubbing a BCL all over my face to please him.
Love it. Beautiful.
What about the far table nicknames? Any nicknames? Any of you guys?
Oh,
Pants.
my brother's like, you call me Pants. We did. We called you Pants for a long, long time. Such a
My
long
brother's
time.
name is Elliot. 2 L's, 2 T's. That's the only proper way to spell Elliot, not like fucking Maine. That's weird. They 1 L, 1 T. What are you, too broke to afford a second L and a second T? But Elliot, and so we used to call him, and still do sometimes, Smelliot.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
good one.
Yeah.
he
That seems like
used
a classic, right?
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic.
Smelliot. And you remember that because it's a play on his actual name, but then it sort of also implies that he's stinky, like Mr. Nuts over here.
Mr. Nut. Is that the
Mr.
formal?
Nuts. That's for
That's the
formal.
formal?
Because I
Okay.
respect this man. I do. Despite me pulling his nickname out of thin air, that was fucking
I
incredible,
can
by the
pretty
way.
much guarantee you're getting a beer after
God damn
this.
it. I mean, I don't know why I can't make more than $32,000 a year. This is fucking bullshit. And I'm sitting here, I'm like psychic, and I can't.
That's gonna be our new thing.
I'm
People are gonna call in. You're gonna
I'm
guess
sucking
their
dick
nickname.
for a teacher's salary over here, and this guy pulled his nickname out of nowhere. I feel like Josh is not impressed enough for how incredible that was. I just pulled his nickname out of nowhere. I never met this man in my life. It says it on his bumper, actually. I saw him get out of his car. It says
It's that vanity
it
plate.
says Stinky Nuts on his license plate is Stinky Nuts, and I put 2 and 2 together. I'm not actually psychic, y'all. You got to go get that vanity plate now. You got to do that. If it costs money, let me know. I'll PayPal you. I'll pay for that vanity plate for you to have Stinky Nuts on your truck. That'd be fucking awesome.
Any other nicknames besides Stinky Nuts?
And Pants. Come on,
And
with that
Pants,
nickname.
yeah. I mean,
Pants
Pants
is a
is-
great nickname. Yeah, why you Pants?
Go get a better nickname, kid. All right.
Go buy a nickname.
I'm surprised you could afford the $7 to get in here. Go get a better nickname than that.
Jeez,
Jeez
you're
and crow.
savage tonight. What is it?
It's the caffeine, man.
Yeah.
I got geeked up on the Mountain Dew.
The
ready to-
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Yeah, the Mountain Dew and Doritos.
See, now
I'm
you
ready.
sound like me when I'm playing video games.
Yeah, when you're playing sports, that doesn't count. If you're in your underwear on your couch at 2 a.m, that's the problem with virtual reality too. Like we go see this movie Ready Player One, and everyone's like exercising all day. I'm like, fuck that. I know that's never gonna take off because nobody wants to fucking exercise. The reason why video games exist is because people want to sit on their ass at 2 a.m. You don't want to run around your living room in your underwear waking your parents up.
What about if I make money doing it?
Even then, it's physical labor. I mean, you're actually having to work. Like, the point of video games is that I can sit there and just do this and burn 0 calories.
I guess I don't get the point. Are you hating on video games?
No,
You're liking them?
I'm hating on the idea that people are going to play virtual reality as in the film Ready Player One, where you're like on your feet and you're like carrying shit and you're like running around.
Oh, so you're saying
How are
that
you gonna
goes
do
against
it?
the entire concept
It
of
goes
video
against
games.
the entire concept of video games, exactly.
I thought it was like immersion and like
No.
escaping from the real world.
You can do that. You can do that. I think like the idea of like VR goggles on your face, maybe like people would take off. But I think the idea of like being on your feet. You didn't want to stand up for a 1-hour podcast. You're not gonna run around and play like virtual soccer in your living room.
Not if I can help it.
Not if you can help it. No.
No, I'll be an announcer.
You're like the problem with this game is I actually have to be on my feet. It'd be great if I could play this game while seated. You're like my cat. Like I'll do the thing with the feather and he'll go after it, but then he'll lay down and he'll be like,
What's your cat's name?
Sade. It's actually kind of a nickname.
Sade.
We named him Sadie when we thought it was a she because we got him really early and his nuts hadn't dropped yet. I should call him Nuts Didn't Drop, No Nuts. Something like that should be his nickname.
A little less clever.
But we named him Sadie because we thought it was a she. And it was like a month later we found out it's a he when we take him to the vet. And so it's like, fuck, well, his name is Sadie. We just dropped the IE sound off the end and just call him Sade because it sounds a little bit more masculine, but it still sounds kind of gay.
You know,
What?
You know how some
It
people-
does sound kind of gay. What,
you know how some
don't
peop-
judge me.
You know how some people are named like go by test? Is that short for testicles?
Probably.
Who goes by test? That's ridiculous.
That one wrestler?
I know so much about wrestling. I've never once watched wrestling in
You
my
remember
whole
Test?
fucking
He was,
life.
he was
How am I
with
gonna
Stephanie
remember Test?
McMahon.
No, absolutely not. I don't remember any of it. I've never
I thought you
once
just
saw
said you.
wrestling.
Oh, you're being facetious.
Like, no, I'm being real. Like, I'd never have once seen wrestling ever in my life.
Okay.
I've never watched wrestling.
You'd love it. Bunch of guys on steroids bumping into each other in
Fucking
spandex.
yes.
That sounds exactly like Jason Almeid's dream.
I do love a lot of dudes on steroids. It's actually true.
Oh man. So, at what point do you actually give a nickname to somebody? Is that like right away? I know some people like right away they would give a nickname. Oh, the one I didn't mention, Grizz. I was called Grizz by a guy at work for the longest time. First, he called me Scott Jr. because there was another guy there named Scott who I guess we had similar demeanors. But he's like, that really doesn't fit you. That's a placeholder nickname. And then he ended up switching it to Grizz, and he's like, that fits you.
I had
The Grizz. He had the article. I fucking love the article.
Yeah, I had a nickname like that, sort of. It wasn't a nickname, but I had a work situation where there was another Jason there when I got hired, and so they were like, "Well, we can't have two Jasons." I'm like, "Really? Why not?" It's not like that novel of a thing. You got 2 Peters, you got 2 Jameses. I mean, there's more than one motherfucker running around named Jason. You can have a Jason A and a Jason B. It works. But they refuse. They're like, no, we can't have 2 Jasons. So what's your middle name? I'm like, Perry. All right, great. Your name is now Perry. I'm like,
Nice.
no, it's not. I'm never going to answer that. I'm never going to reply to that. Call me Perry as much as you want. I'm never going to turn my fucking head. I'm going to be worse than a cat. I'm never going to acknowledge you call me that word. They printed it. They put it on my little name tag. I was like, fuck you. I don't care. I'm not doing it.
So don't call you
So
Perry.
I actually got the first Jason fired.
Oh, that's a really good technique.
I logged in as him. I got his employee username. I got his employee password. I logged in as him 15 minutes late, and then I started downloading all of the porn on the work computer as him. I'm downloading like dude porn, like these guys. They're big. They were large dudes, like steroid dudes.
So
And
obviously
they're
you had to
going-
screen it before you downloaded it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it all to make sure it was good.
Yeah,
You know, obviously,
At his
clearly.
desk or your
well,
own?
Obviously, I had to leave evidence all over his keyboard. But they got him fired, and then I went
You're
back
a
to being
method
Jason.
actor, you know that?
Yes, I got him fired, and then I was Jason. I said,
That's
"Adios."
beautiful. You know, there was a wrestler named Perry.
Was there?
Perry Saturn. Mm-hmm.
You could be making that up right now. I believe you. I
So
don't know.
at what point do you give somebody a nickname?
So I think there's different types of people. So some people like myself, if the nickname is as perfect and apt, you give them that nickname in the moment. So someone forgets their shoes, it's shoes. But then there's other people who, like I'm saying it's personality rather than like time, because people have different times. Like the one you're talking about, like that guy, he just needed to give someone a nickname. Like that's his thing. He gives people nicknames.
Well,
It doesn't
that's the way that was like the way he remembered
was his
people's
mnemonic
names.
device.
Yeah, he couldn't remember names like
Yeah.
like
I went to
normally he
college,
was a
everybody.
boxer, so like literally that's how he went about remembering names.
Yeah, well, it's like I've been to certain jobs where the person, like I meet someone there, and they're like, okay, you need a nickname. What's your nickname? Pepper.
Penis.
Penis. Yes. Penis, that's what it is. And so I just met people who just need to give nicknames, like
I never
Cock
in a million years thought you were
Blaster
going to
3000.
Thought you were gonna say tonight, Pepinus. Yes, that's what it is.
Yes.
I'm so happy right now.
Yeah.
But like,
And I didn't even have to beat you off.
the concept there of like having to remember somebody's nickname versus their normal name like makes sense if it's like shorter or like more familiar. But like one of the guys, his name's Scott. He called him Scotty Emerson Winchester III instead
That's
of just
too much.
Scott. He
That's
could remember
too
that
much.
whole thing, but he couldn't remember his name was Scott.
Well, that's like a mnemonic thing, though. It's like if you make something ridiculous enough, you can remember the ridiculous thing, but you can't remember the mundane thing.
Wow, that's profound.
Wow, silence.
We didn't say the words yet. So
Not yet.
okay, so I feel like it's also depends on the person giving the nickname. Like some people just that's what they do is they give nicknames to everybody.
Yep.
And some people will never give a nickname to anybody and will refuse to use nicknames even.
That's especially in like a professional context. So it's like I used to
That
work at
lady's
some.
named Grandma.
I used to work in some like more low key jobs, so like let's say Dunkin' Donuts, and their like nicknames are super common. As you get more and more professional or start going up the corporate ladder, like nicknames become less and less of a thing. Unless you're like some regional manager and you can't remember anybody's name, you call everybody Bubba.
Wait, that sounds like experience. Please tell that story.
That's experience. Well, he called me Bubba, and
Wait, this was a regional
Bubba.
manager? He
yeah.
called everyone Bubba.
Well, he called all the people he liked Bubba. If he didn't like you, he just called you just like, hey, you.
Did you ever see somebody who was like that he always called him Bubba and then one day is just like, hey, you?
Yeah.
That would be like heartbreaking.
That would be. I would actually, if my regional manager called me Bubba, I would immediately report him for sexual harassment to HR. I'd be on the phone with HR. I'd be like, call me Bubba.
I don't think you're allowed to report anybody for sexual harassment
I
ever.
think I
think
am.
it's just against the rules.
I think they don't believe me. It's like the boy who cried wolf.
So let's.
He logged into your computer as you and downloaded a bunch of porn and then ejaculated on your keyboard. Yeah, right. Okay. I really believe that, Jason.
Sure. Oh, it was Perry. Okay. So where can people find you, Jason?
You can find me.
Yeah, because you said Podcoin's dead.
Podcoin's dead.
Okay, no more
Podcoin's
Podcoin.
dead. No more Podcoin, everybody. Forget I even said the word Podcoin.
I almost downloaded it, and then you said it was dead, and then
They're dead.
okay, now I
So
don't have to.
Now
It's
you don't
great.
have to. They're gone.
I can just use my normal Apple.
You
I
can-
use Apple
yeah,
to.
Yeah, I use Apple as well. I never converted over to Podcoin. I just pimped them for other people.
So
That
if you have an Apple iPhone, you have a podcast player on your iPhone. So
Yeah.
anybody can
native. It's
can
built in.
can follow. Shit Happens When You Party Naked. Jason and Christina, they are hilarious. You guys will hear Christina's Samuel L. Jackson impression.
Yeah,
and it
I'm
is
telling
the great.
you.
There's no
Oh,
doubt.
it's
the
not-
greatest Samuel L. Jackson you
It's
will
the
ever hear.
best Samuel L. Jackson.
It really is.
I swear to God, my wife is a big black man on the inside. There's a big black man inside my wife because she does the best Samuel L. Jackson. I'm not fucking lying. You should hear her do some of the lines from Django Unchained.
As far as
You know-
Android
you know
goes,
what's
I only
up.
have an Apple phone. As far as Android goes, is there a default player on the Android? I believe
Yeah, it's
there
like
is.
Play
the Google
Music.
phones and-
Yeah, it's Google Play. I mean, they have Google Podcasts.
I think they come with one now, like Castbox or one of those.
Yeah, it's just Play, I
It,
think.
it should be there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just Play, but
Yeah.
I think they have one just for podcasts too. I mean, because that they tried to branch out. But anyway, so Google Podcast,
Yeah.
Google Play, or just go into the Google Play Store and just like search podcasts, and you should be able to find one pretty easy. It's also Podkicker is one I
very
use.
easy.
You
If you-
use Podkicker?
Yeah, Podkicker. Podcicker's pretty good. There's also like Podbeans or something like that. But
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch
a
out there.
million. You can Google
I feel like
it and you're gonna find it.
I feel like there's too many podcast apps, and I kind of feel like those are starting to sound like shitty nicknames.
They
like
are.
Castbox.
You're right.
And
Yeah. You're right. There are
Undercast
too
and
many.
Soundcast.
The
and-
market's flooded, but it will dwindle down. We are both on, or all of us, I guess, are on podcastnewhampshire.com. Go ahead and check that out.
podcastnh.com.
Oh, thank you.
Podcastnh.com.
I got my own
Yeah.
URL wrong.
Yeah.
Podcastnh.com. All the podcasts from New Hampshire are on there. You can find his show. You can
My
find
show.
our show.
Their show.
Right on there. Pepin, anything you want to plug?
No, not really. Just want to plug Rochester and Curlies
Y'all got
Comedy Club.
Twitter?
Curly's Comedy Club.
At Party
Thank you
Naked
for
Absolutely.
inviting
Pod.
us.
Hit me on Twitter. You pants. Hit me on Twitter tonight at Party Naked Pod.
That's probably unlikely.
Pants. Register. Twitter tonight.
Pants Perry. There it is. Okay. So well, outstanding. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. And Nate, if you were
Thank you,
going
Stinky
to,
Nuts.
And of course, thank
You
you
played
so
along.
much
That
to
was
Curly's
great.
Comedy Club for having us out. This has been amazing. And all month long, it's Podtober. Every
Podtober.
Tuesday, there's going to be a different show here. Next week, Shit Happens When You Party
Shit
Naked.
happens when you naked.
Special
Come out
guest.
next week.
Us.
Pants.
So, same show.
You're
it's
invited
gonna
next
be-
week, buddy.
But this guy will be leading. So
Stinky Nuts, you coming out next week? Oh, come on! I'll buy you a Bud Light Platinum. They're brewed for the night, 6%. We're gonna get lit in the parking lot. Boom! All right.
Jason, it sounds like you really want some sticky nuts.
I'm a fan. He's my favorite guy right here. I love that guy.
Nate, we need to talk.
All
right, we're out.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.